Hello everyone, welcome to the Peter Afro vlog here at Derpathon 2. I'm running two games, back to back. So the first game is Kaze and a Wild Mask. This is a little indie game, from 2021, heavily inspired by Donkey Kong Country. So technically time starts after skipping the first cutscene, but we're just gonna make it easier and start from selecting the difficulty. I'll be playing original mode, not the casual mode. Casual, it's kind of funny because like you die 8 times leveling, just skip it, whatever. This won't even be valid for leaderboards anyway because I'm not showing middle this time, so whatever. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So this, each level, it's linearly, just go level by level. Don't ask what the plot is. There really isn't much of a plot. There's some evil baddie who wants something. I don't remember the cutscene. It doesn't even have dialogue. So how this game works, you have a little spin. When you spin into an object or enemy, you gain a burst of speed. You can actually jump out and keep that speed. Also, with the spin, if you spin off a ledge, you can actually jump out of that spin in midair. This first level is very, very simple, very short. Another technique, this game has a ground pound feature. When you ground pound, you get a little bit of extra air, so you can perform some shortcuts with that. If you don't know what that A is, there's the 4 letters to spell Kaze, similar to the con letters in Donkey Kong Country. We're not collecting them, generally. But we're not going out of the way to collect them because this is 80%, not 100%. So, coming for like these purple sprint little jump pads, they're kind of weird because like, it's not just how traditional sprains work where you like hold jump. You can both do that and spin into them to get the extra air. It's very weird. Also, Kaze can hop and fly in midair by holding the spin button while you're midair. So damage. So how this game, you're only allowed 1 extra hit before you die, unless you collect a heart. In original mode. Casual mode, let's just take 4 hits. I think 4 total. I actually never played casual mode. So we're going to do a little shortcut. We fly to this jump pad. Very important, you're not holding both spin and jump when you hit that pad, or else your jump will be really slow for some reason. It's very, very strange. I should probably take the other piece of the result screen, the purple gem. There's these little gems at each level. You collect them to fill that up. And then the square is 2 little bonus challenges, which you could collect to unlock an extra level. We're also not doing that. Yeah, this is pretty cute. So the reason this game's called Kaze and the Wild Mask because there's like 4 different types of animal masks that will show up in levels. This one is an eagle, I think. That's some kind of bird. You can fly by pressing the jump button. Ideally, you want to mash it to go really fast. You can also shoot a projectile that goes in an arch for some reason. It's kind of annoying. There's going to be some damage boosting in this level. Damage boosting is a tactic we use a lot. The reason I turned backwards a few times is so I could avoid getting hit by those spikes, which I need to avoid getting hit by to perform the damage boost where I want to get the damage boost. Yes, this is a bunny game. This next next level has a D boost that's a little tricky. Well, if you're doing it fast, I'm going to do the slow way, because this is a marathon. Slow way's not much slower. Because you messed it up. Oh boy. It's bad. This is vine climb. You don't want to actually be on the vines. It's super slow. Same with ladders. It's better to just jump up the ladder. I could go to the ladder, but it's a little tricky, so I just opted to go to the platform. These little pots do contain hearts, if I were to get hit. Alright, so this is where the D-boost happens. I'm gonna wait. That's the safe method. Alright, this next level is gonna involve lights. There's like little flowers, you hit them, it turns on a light. We're gonna want to do that because there's an enemy that gets deactivated when the lights are on. And you cannot kill this enemy. The corn, you cannot spin to them at their mouths. You can only spin to them in the back, or you'll just jump on them. Spin in their mouths, you're gonna get hit. Yeah, those like crabs with the plank around that, you can't kill them. You can only disable them. That porcupine is pretty tricky to fly over. But you want to fly over it because we will need to do a D-boost. And there's no other hearts until after the D-boost. You do want to wait a bit for that platform to go up. It's not going to work if you just immediately get off it. This is where the D-boost happens. Alright, this next level is going to show off the second type of mask, the shark mask. Which will let us swim underwater. Because we're about to see Kaze by herself cannot swim. She doesn't like automatically drown like some video game characters, but not really a swimmer. When you're going diving, do not hold jump. It will shorten your dive. And you're gonna need to do a big dive like here. Downward slopes are really weird. Like, it's really tricky to actually be able to spin up the downward slope. It's possible, but I don't really get how it works. So when you're boosting out of water, if you like time it right, you can get a big boost out of the water that makes you go fast. Yeah, when you go down the slope normally, you just want to slide down, but you can spin down if you like get the timing right. I mean, I just mash spin, so of course I'm not gonna get it all the time. That's more of an advanced strat, and I am not an advanced runner. That would be Death Control. Shout out to Death Control. He's been very helpful to me. Oh yeah, you get a look around, you get do no damage. It's not required for 100%. Not that we're doing that. So the first boss is Mother Mona? The thing about the boss this game, a lot of them, they're pretty much all waiting. Well, the first three. Final boss, kind of, but not really. So as she works, she's gonna do these attacks. You can only damage her on that little blue vein on her head. I don't know if it's like a jewel or a button. It's really weird when you think about it. I'm just gonna signal these spiky things we've seen a lot so far, and we will see a lot more later. Alright, gonna try trick. So what I just did there, I managed to jump over her flames, and thus snuck a hit without having to climb up. This saves 3 seconds each time you successfully do it. If I fail to do it, it's not worth risking doing it and dying. Just take the L and go up vines. It's pretty hard. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they screw it up. I mean, I haven't been running this game that long, like picked it up last year, but yeah. When doing the final hit, which this is going to be the final hit, it's not a big deal to get hit by the flames. Hello, death control. Would have preferred not to get hit. I don't have to grab a heart at the beginning of this next level, but it doesn't take long. It's not a big time loss. Alright, so that's world 1. There's a total of 4 worlds in this game. One thing that's weird, in the maps, in the world map, the world itself, you can hold the directional key and automatically move. That does not work for the between world map. It's very odd. Alright. This is ice level. Grab the heart immediately. Because there is a damage boost I'm gonna want to do. These carrots, they're kind of like the corn. You don't want to hit the front because their front's pointy. Same thing with the porcupines. Well, in reverse, you don't want to hit the back. I mean, I just hit the back there, but that's for a boost. I get grab this heart because there's a deboost I might do. It's technically don't have to do it, but it is the fastest way to deal with one particular carrot. Oh, I did the other way. Yeah, that can also happen. There's another carrot where that could also happen. You're just trailing behind it. It's really annoying. Next level is pretty tricky. Is one of the harder levels in my opinion. Slingshot ride. So there's a lot of slingshots in this level. You generally don't want to go on the slingshot. They're slow. Like in and of itself because there's a delay between when it actually activates. So we do try to skip them. For the most part, race, some are unavoidable. I need to be really careful with that spin because you don't want to hold spin with that because you will grab the pot and you'll move very slowly until you throw it. You don't want to grab the pots that are in this category. I think in some parts 100% you have to grab some, but this isn't 100%. You want to be able to fly over, so you can instantly get to that high one. And then I zone out. That's why I had to wait. You do need to wait a split second for that one, or else you're not going to make it. Thank you, Carl Loki, for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. So this next level will be the next type, the next mask, Saber-tooth Tiger. Another snowy level. This is the snowy world, even though it's not entirely snow, which is kind of funny. There's a lot of debuffs in this level. Wait, I was supposed to wait. Alright, here we go, Saber-tooth Tiger. So Saber-tooth Tiger can dash, and can also climb walls. Well, some walls cannot be climbed, they're marked as such. Most part, yeah. You can climb walls with this mask. You do 3 dashes and then you walk to get that D-boost to work. And reach the enemy and not die. It's pretty tight, but somehow pretty easy as well. Like those like ice walls you can't climb. Ropes of Hope. There is a pretty hard trick at the end. I'm not doing it because I never actually got it. Clean. IFG? I don't know what that means. Is that some, like, term that only the kids these days know? Am I getting old? Yes. See, there's a lot of ropes in this level, in case you couldn't tell by the title. Here I'm going to do a deepest. Very important you reach the edge of that enemy. If you're not close to the edge, to the right edge of that enemy, it doesn't work. You will die. Fly. Jump, jump, jump. This last rope, this one I just grabbed, you can skip this, but it's a really hard trick. That I don't know, I mentioned at the beginning of the level. Alright. This is when we're seeing the return the bird. Really? I really don't want to die. That little portal I just skipped takes you to one of the bonus challenges. That gives you the piece of green square. I'm not showing up any of them. This was the charity marathon. I would have had a donation incentive for the extra levels, but this is not. So rip. thankfully we get a heart right here. We are going to do a D-boost. We're going to D-boost right here. Skip that pumpkin. That was risky. Oh, should I have done that? I ain't paid off. That was really dumb damage. I mean, I didn't die, so it's not a big deal. So we're getting to the final mask, the Dragon Mask. This was kind of interesting because it turns the level into a sort of auto-scroller. I say sort of because while you're automatically running, it's not really at a fixed speed. Because when you go up a slope, you go slower. But when you're down the slope, you go faster. What you can do is ground pound and buffer a jump to preserve your speed. So it turns this into a not really an auto-scroller. Which is kind of cool, actually. That's not what I wanted. Ooh, that gap is pretty tricky to go through. Alright, that was so close to disaster. It would be really funny if this was deathless, because like every practice run I did had at least one death. I'm not counting it though. Think of my estimates generous. I was always below. Pumpkin Pyre. This is a pretty easy level, if I do say myself. There's a lot of this smoke that Kaze can hover to get extra air. There will also be a lot of pumpkins. Not so the pumpkins as you saw. I'm gonna take it careful, just so I don't die. Really? That never happened before. Alright, so this next boss, we're going to be using the bird mask during it. It's this giant, one of the enemies of a giant size. I don't know what vegetable it's supposed to be. It's the, I think cauliflower. That's how this fight works. You're going to be dodging pumpkins and shooting his minions. When you shoot two of his minions, he'll come out of hiding, and you can actually shoot him. Though a lot of it will be protected by like this armor, but there will be a small opening. It's actually possible to shoot him off screen in each phase. If you can do that, it saves a fair amount of time. Oh, I'm gonna look at a few seconds. Well, the first two anyways. The third, if you don't get the early hit, you will have to deboost, because like he'll start off fully blocked. It's pretty tricky getting the early hits in. I haven't quite learned the timing. I really don't want to get damage here. Just in case you need to do a deboost. Oh, and if you miss one, you do not want to miss one of his henchmen. You're going to lose a lot of time waiting for another. And I mean a lot of time. Thank you for the raid. I'm a little too focused on the run to look to carefully read the name. But I'm pretty sure a mod will do that. And the early hit's annoying because there's like wind foot pushing you to the right. You really gotta adjust your positioning every time you take a shot. This is the final phase. It's actually relatively easy to get the early hit on this. I say relatively because it's not a piece of cake, but it's way easier than the first two phases. I'm not sure why. Like, I could consistently get it, but the first two phases, very odd. Yeah, that's the early hit. That's bolt 2. On to World 3. Excuse me. World 3 is a level where we bring back the shark mask, a lot of swimming. Not even joking, one time I died because of that porcupine, because like, there was like a very small delay between Kaze's spins, and like her spin like ended right before getting hit by the porcupine. It was so annoying. It was also kind of hilarious, to be honest. Speaking of delay, there is actually a delay between the shark's attacks. If you want to do really optimally, you can time your boost, but I'm really bad at that, so I just mash. There's starfish going around. You cannot kill the starfish. Your best bet is to weave in between them. That one you can't, there's no gap you can't really weave between. So you gotta be really careful. What I like to do is kind of like temporarily pause boosting before going to an enemy, just to make sure it doesn't end right before it gets to the enemy, because then I'll die and I'll be really, really annoyed. This next level is pretty easy. It's mainly riding zip lines. These zip lines automatically move you. It's not like the ones from the Vine Climb, or whatever that level's called. There's some platforming. Use the spin button to let go of the zip line. And just drop. I'm gonna need to do a bit. Carrots on fire cannot be killed. I mean, they're on fire, why would they? They're basically very slow moving bullets. This next level, yeah, there's a lot of like scales, like the old-fashioned kind. It also features the most annoying enemy in the game. I'll let you know what it is when it comes. But honestly, you could probably figure it out. It's the most irritating position ever. So we can actually ignore dealing with the scales for the most part. I wanted to try not to get hit by that because of this guy. That's the annoying enemy. Part of why I didn't like bounce off him and then go to the next platform, that doesn't work. Oh. I could have sworn you needed like the step ladder slightly up to get across. Whatever. Alrighty. Next up, return to the saber-tooth tiger. So this level is you're gonna do a lot of slingshots as well. A lot of them you cannot skip. Oh, that one can, but not this one. And a fair amount of the others. But there are a good chunk you can skip and do some shortcuts. Some of them are pretty hard. I recently got good at one at the very end of the level. So the ones that are like just adjusting their position, I'll like to try to go fast on them. Try to like see if I can instantly get off. Right? Sometimes I get cocky and screw that up. Jump. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, I just skipped 2 slingshots. Next up is Toxic Lake, probably the hardest level in the game, because we're gonna do a lot of the ground pound extra air trick to get up runs, and you're gonna do this over a rising pool of acid. So you screw it up, you die. And with a lot of these, you have to like the top of your jump, probably as close to the top of jump for it to work. Do it too low in your jump, and you're face palming right into that acid. I'm grabbing this checkpoint for safety reasons. You do lose a little bit of time grabbing it, but it'll be better than having to start the whole level all over again. That would be awful. So that little purple enemy with the green on the front, that green's actually a little shield, so I can't spin into it. I'll just get bounced off. I was honestly expecting it to go poorly. Alright, this level is mostly auto-scrolling. We're gonna be riding a platform. It's not to happen. Is that like a reference or something? So there's 3 sections on riding the platform. You can actually get off the platform sooner than you would originally look like. I save a bit of time. Yeah, this is a pretty lame, pretty unexciting level. If this was a charity marathon, I would be saying that they could read donations, but this is not a charity marathon, so now to talk about the oh! Whining! Oh, that was a dumb. So I was trying to spin off into the enemy, and then I just did a really stupid death because I was late. I didn't even know I was late, and I did it anyway. See, this is my biggest problem with running this game. I do really, really dumb things. Rip the being the deathless run. Oh, that was embarrassing. When you die, you learn. Yeah, you say that, but that was the first time I did that stupid mistake. So, I clearly haven't learned anything. Okay, just wait. Like, see, that's how you do getting off the platform safe. Just wait till you don't have to deal with the enemy. I don't know what. Oh, there's always the next hour around this game in the marathon to get deathless run. You know, in marathon. Why am I kidding? I'm gonna keep submitting this game on every marathon I can submit to. Unless it's a marathon that this wouldn't fit into, like, I don't know, some niche restriction, like specific genre. I don't know. Alright, hopefully that's the only death in this run. If that's the only death in this run, I'd be happy. So, if you want to YOLO it, you can, like, go off screen and get to the exit, like, as soon as you get off the platform, but nah, I took the safer way to do that trick. The only reason you would do the really fast way if you're trying to get the record. This is another level with the dragon mask, and it'll also mix in the lights from that World 1 level, but there'll also be red lights, because we're getting chased by an anglerfish ghost. I think it's a ghost. I don't really know. There's no lore explanation of it. We hit the red light, it gets a little boot. It gets its own boost. We hit the blue light, it's gone. But if you have the slope speed, you actually don't have to worry about the anglerfish. It will not catch up to you even if you hit a bunch of red lights. So I can hit all the red lights I want as long as I'm keeping the speed up. And, you know, mixing some blue lights. Because in order to keep up the speed, I am going to hit some red lights. So I tried buffering my jump, like, as soon as I hit the ground pump. What I keep forgetting is, like, eventually that buffer just stops working. It has to be, like, right before you hit the, like, basically right before you hit the platform. Which is most of the time, except for that one time. It wasn't. Alright, this boss is hilarious because there's basically no way to optimize it until the final hit. Not even the first two hits, the final hit, there's actually speeding up. That's how it works. Olaf here will show up after you wait for his fighting things to go away. When you hit him, it doesn't matter when you hit him, as long as you hit him before he goes to the wall. It won't affect how fast the next phase starts. So yeah, this is no way to speed this up until the final hit. The final hit that you want to hit as early as you can. So now the gaps are gonna shift. There'll be two gaps near the middle instead of at the end. Those like super high walls I cannot grab onto. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're the saber-tooth tiger, but yeah, you can see he's open. Okay. The final phase, the middle platform will go away, and the other two will rise up. You can climb up. Alright. Yeah, that was basically... Yeah, that's what I meant by fast spot. Like, as soon as he exits, go hit him. Alright, final world time. At the home stretch, well, not really, there's a fair amount of leveling to do. But you know. Alright, this next level is pretty hard, I must say. We'll be using the bird. Lots of flying. Lots of taking advantage of gaps. Because there'll be some starfish near spiked walls, but there will be gaps between the spiked walls and the starfish that you can squeeze through. It's a little tricky. Yeah, do check that schedule, see if there's any runs you really want to see. Besides, you know, my awesome runs. In which there'll be one more after this. I'll be playing... Thanks for the good luck, OzzyXXX. So far this run, I had one death, that was because I was being really stupid. But otherwise, this has been pretty solid. Yeah, as you can see, the gaps are not very hard to do. Well, the fireballs. The starfish ones are a little bit harder. The starfish are a bit close to the ball. Doing the gaps with the fireballs, though, it's pretty easy. There is a deboost I could do. I'm gonna opt not to do it, just for safety. It's to skip the starfish. It doesn't save a ton of time, as you can tell. Which is another reason why I skipped it, or decided not to do it, rather. And also because I want that health, because there's no health refills for the rest of the level. Navigating these fire audience is really annoying. Okay, got up this desert level. I must say, the level themes can clash with the wall themes. It's really weird. I don't mind it, but it's very funny. This level's pretty easy, I must say. There's another really annoying enemy in this stage. Not as annoying as the one at the scale level. I don't spin off them because then I'll get some extra air that I do not want. That one can be control you if you don't expect it. Apparently it's possible to not get pushed back by that one zip line, but I don't know how you do it. Woo! That was almost bad. Okay, I'm gonna try something hard. Nice. That was pretty risky because I screwed up, yeah. Alright, the next level is very, very easy. One of the easiest in the game. IMO. Which is funny because it's a World 4 level. There's gonna be slingshots and there's gonna be sprains. Nothing new with these to talk about. Well, actually, no. With the horizontal ones, there's a lot you can just automatically launch yourself and it'll hit the enemy. Actually, it's a good D boost. I should incorporate. And here we just mash, because we can immediately get off, there's nothing blocking. The point where, what was the point of that extra slingshot, to be honest? This is the final Dragon Mask level. This one, there's only literally one instance of downward slope, but you actually don't want to use it. Because this level utilizes, the bananas. And you will have to bounce off bananas. If you do the downward slope, it screws up the bananas, and you're gonna be screwed over and die. Oh, at least as far as I'm aware. Maybe that's a straddle record of it like this. Probably not. So yeah, this is a legit auto-scroller. So these are bananas I was talking about. You have to bounce off them at very specific points that if you mess with your speed in this mess of cycle, it's not going to be good. Do avoid that upper slope, it slows you down. This is the one downward slope. You could do like one jump, but you have to be slowed down by the time you hit the bananas. I don't know why I jumped. You're not supposed to jump at that point. Jump, jump. Alright. Another shark level coming up. It's the last shark level. Oh, that bird level 4-1 was the last bird level. Should have mentioned that. Similar to the dragon level from World 3, we will be dealing with the anglerfish ghost. Why did I jump over those porcupines? I legit don't know. I do that sometimes. I never understand why I do it. I mean, it's not a big time loss to jump over them, but I don't know why I do it. That shield enemy has gotten in my way way too many times. Not anymore. That's something that would happen in my earlier days of running this game. Alright, coming up is the final level of Saber-Tooth Tiger. This one's pretty fun, I must say. It's gonna involve a lot of moving platforms. Actually, so that was the next one as well. That cactus leads to a ladder. Or was it a great? What was the challenge bonus level? I actually don't remember. Ground pound to reach portal. Alright, this is the last regular level for the boss. It's basically a lot of spinning platforms. That's not how you're supposed to do it optimally. Whatever. I'm not going underneath this cauliflower because it kind of messes up this particular one and it would make me die. Another world record could do it and not have it messed up. I don't know how. Spin, spin, spin. Okay. Coming up is the final boss. This boss is very lengthy. It takes like a freaking minute. Has a lot of phase. Has a lot to it. So each phase involves grabbing gems to disable a shield. So this first one, each gem will always come at the same location. So if you memorize it, you can go fast. In between each phase, you'll play with one of the masks. First up is the bird. You just hold right and jump, or press jump. This one, it's auto-select. Same with the third one. You do not want to get hit by the laser. There are no health refills in this boss fight, and if you die, you start the whole thing all over again. So you don't want to die, especially in the marathon. Mainly because if I die, I'm probably going to go over estimate, and I do not want to go over estimate. I guess I use my estimate as an hour 10 instead of the hour 5 I currently do because of this boss, but then I got better at it. Alright, this one for the shark. The one thing I forgot to mention, when you enter a boss, if you don't have the extra hit, it does give you the extra hit, which is pretty nice. So this phase, the best strategy for it is to do a zigzag, mainly because that's how the gems will go up. And also makes it pretty easy to avoid getting hit. That's how the boss moves, it depends on your position. Here, I gotta remember, be still. I used to get tricked by those lasers into thinking it's one in the middle for some reason. I thought I was anticipating that jump ran to be too short. Okay, that was a little late to hit it. So this is the dragon mask. There's no downward slopes, unfortunately. Actually, it's fortunate because this would be a nightmare to go fast with the downward sloping jump. So this part, we're going to use the safety beggar. This part's also kind of dumb because, like, once you grab all the jewels, you literally have to wait for the boss to deal the final blow. It's really silly stupid. I don't know what what they were thinking. It's not a big deal, but it's just silly. Okay, so time ends when I. Alright, not too shabby. Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied this run. It was better than a lot of my practice runs. That's an hour, 12 minutes, 13. Thanks to the GGs. And now I am going to go set up Mega Man Rock Force. Alright, go to 4 byte.